Welcome to the chapter Atmosphere, Wind. This slide presents the overview of the chapter. Learning objectives. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to explain the meaning of the terms air, seasons, and atmosphere. Describe the different layers of the atmosphere. Analyze the causes for changes in atmosphere. Understand the importance of air. Explain why air makes sound. Let us first start with the introduction. We know that air is all around us. We can see air blowing everywhere, like in our houses, open fields, etc. Do you know why we need air? Do you have any idea of the properties of air? Are you aware of what is atmosphere and its layers? Have you ever thought what the factors of air pollution are? In this chapter, let us find the answers to all these questions in detail. We will first know what is meant by wind. Air is a mixture of gases that forms the atmosphere which we have all around us. When this air begins to move fast, we call it wind. The wind, which we cannot see, does many things, like it brings rain, cold weather, and warmth. The reasons for the movement of air from one place to another are the Earth's gravitational force, rotation, and revolution of the Earth. The properties of air are: it is invisible, occupies space or volume, has weight. Now let us go through the meaning of atmosphere. The atmosphere is a thin layer of gases that surrounds the Earth. Climate and weather mean the atmospheric conditions like temperature, pressure, wind, humidity, etc. of a particular place. Though both these terms refer to the atmospheric conditions, technically they are not the same. Weather refers to the state of atmospheric conditions of a particular area at any particular time. Climate refers to the average of the atmospheric conditions of a much larger area and follows a similar general pattern over several years. Elements of climate and weather include temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, and precipitation. These elements interact with each other and influence the atmospheric conditions like the direction and velocity of wind, amount of insolation, cloud cover, and the amount of precipitation. The weather will never be the same every day. It goes on changing throughout the day. Sometimes the sky will be cloudy, cool breeze blows, whereas sometimes dry air and hot breeze blow. On some days it rains and on some other days it is hot. Generally, some symbols are used to understand the atmospheric or weather report. They are as follows. Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding. Now it's time to know about the seasons. Seasons happen because the earth spins around an axis that is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees. Weather in India is divided into three seasons, namely winter, summer and rainy. Winter, summer, rainy. Click each tab to know more. Winter. The season from mid-November to February is called the winter or cold season. In the winter season, the sun rises slowly but sets soon. In this season, the weather will be cool and thus we can see people wearing colorful sweaters, rugs and shawls. In this season, the nature looks beautiful as various flowers bloom and spread their fragrance all around. Summer. The season during the months of March, April and May is called the summer or hot season. Hot and dry winds blow in this season. This is the harvesting season as the crops will be ready for harvesting. It is the harvesting season for wheat and also the season for mangoes. As the climate in this season will be hot, people like to drink cold water, wear light cotton clothes and avoid going out in the sun for fear of sunstroke. Rainy. The rainy season extends from the month of July to September. The sky becomes cloudy and then there will be thunder and lightning before the rainfall starts. The various characteristics of this season are dense clouds, rains, thunder and lightning, umbrellas, earthworms and raincoats. Children enjoy playing in rains. They prepare paper boats and play with them. We find the wells, lakes, rivers and canals filled with water. Here, let us look at the different layers of atmosphere in detail. The atmosphere of the Earth is a layer of gases surrounding the planet Earth. The layer of gases in the atmosphere not only provides the oxygen that we breathe, but also protects us from the blasts of heat and radiations emitted by the sun. The following are the gases present in Earth's atmosphere: nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, argon 0.93%, carbon dioxide 0.039%, water vapor 0.4%, other gases like methane, neon, etc. exist in small amounts. Atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on the differences in temperature. They are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. The lowest layer of atmosphere is troposphere. This is the layer closest to Earth where all living things are found. It is also the layer where weather occurs and jets fly. As we go higher, the temperature in the layer decreases. Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding. Let us now perform an activity of identifying the 5 layers of the atmosphere. Observe the image and drag and drop the respective name onto the respective box. Changes in atmosphere occur due to many reasons. Let us know about them. Earth's surface gets heated because of the sun's rays falling on it. However, all surfaces on the earth do not receive the same amount of solar energy, heat from the sun. For example, the tropical regions receive more sunlight than the polar regions. It is because, due to the curved nature of Earth's surface, the rays which reach the ground do not heat the Earth's surface uniformly. In the displayed image, you can observe that the amount of solar energy which falls on the smaller area and the larger area is the same. However, it gets warmer on the equator than near the poles because of the curved nature of the Earth. The causes for the changes in atmosphere are sun rays, Earth's surface, wind, seas, rivers, trees, the terrain, etc. Did you know air makes sound? Let us know how. Air makes sound. To know how, let us play a game. Paper whistle. Step 1. Take a thick piece of paper. Step 2. Now fold it into 4 equal parts as shown in the image. Step 3. Now cut a diamond hole in the center fold as shown. Step 4. Now place this front fold upon your mouth and blow into it. You will hear a sound. Thus, we can see that air makes a sound. The reason is air moves things which in turn make a sound. Now, let us know about the instruments that work with the help of air. We all know that there are various musical instruments to produce different sounds. Example: violin, guitar, veena, dholak, mridangam, drum, tabla, saxophone, flute, nadashwaram, and many more. Among them, there are some musical instruments that work with the help of air. The musical instruments like saxophone, flute, and nadaswaram are made up of long hollow pipes with a certain number of holes on the sides. The air column in the tube is made to vibrate by blowing air into it. This vibrating air column produces musical sounds. Now we will know about the parachute. A parachute is a piece of equipment usually made of cloth that is fastened to people or things and that allows them to fall slowly and land safely after they have jumped or been dropped from an aircraft. The air will stop the parachute from falling freely and thus the parachute will fall slowly to the ground. Parachutes are used in airplanes and helicopters to drop soldiers on a battlefield and to drop supplies and equipments. So, now let us see how to prepare a polythene parachute. Step 1. Take a polythene cover and cut it into a square. Step 2. Now tie 4 ropes of equal size to the 4 corners individually. Step 3. Next, take a stone and tie the 4 threads collectively to that stone as shown. Step 4. Then find a place to drop your parachute and throw the parachute high into the air. You will observe the stone falling along with the cover. Here we will know about a windmill. A windmill is a machine that harnesses the power of the wind. When air moves, it produces power which can move objects. This is how the windmills rotate. The windmill converts wind into usable energy through the rotation of wheels. This energy is used to produce electricity, grind grains, etc. Let us now know why we need air. Air is necessary for every living being on earth. Plants and animals need air to survive. We breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen. They use sunlight and water and give us delicious fruits, vegetables, etc. Thus, the quantity of oxygen increases with the increase in the number of plants. Oxygen is present in water too. Water animals breathe in oxygen dissolved in water. Thus, all the living things on earth like birds, animals, human beings, etc. need air to live. The air which is necessary for us is being polluted in many ways. Let us know about it. Air pollution occurs when gases, dust particles, smoke, and other harmful substances are introduced into the atmosphere in a way that makes it harmful to humans, animals, and plants. The air gets polluted in many ways. Smoke from industries, vehicles, burning wood, etc. pollutes the air. Breathing the polluted air causes severe health problems. People pollute the air every day by smoking bidi, cigarette, which are very dangerous to our health. The people who smoke are not the only ones who get affected by various diseases of lungs, TB, cancer, etc. But people who breathe in that smoke are also affected. Thus, it is the responsibility of every human being to take proper precautions to prevent air pollution. The first step towards it is to plant trees and punish the industries which emit dangerous smoke. Knowledge check. Attempt the following questions to check your understanding. Keywords. List of keywords are shown on the screen. Summary. Let us recap the highlights of this chapter. Air is the mixture of gases that forms the atmosphere which we have all around us. When this air begins to move fast, we call it wind. The atmosphere is a thin layer of gases that surrounds the earth. Seasons happen because the earth spins around an axis that is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees. Weather in India is divided into 3 seasons, namely winter, summer, and rainy. Atmosphere is divided into 5 layers based on the differences in temperature. They are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Air is necessary for every living being on earth. Plants and animals need air to survive. We breathe in oxygen and release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Air pollution occurs when gases, dust particles, smoke, and other harmful substances are introduced into the atmosphere in a way that makes it harmful to humans, animals, and plants. Thus, it is the responsibility of every human being to take proper precautions to prevent air pollution. Read the questions and attempt the answers on your own. You can click answer for your reference. Follow-up work. Have you ever witnessed the sunrise and sunset? How did you feel? Write your experiences in your notes. Divide the class into 4 groups. Ask the first group to note down the details of the weather in the first week, second group in the second week, and so on. Note them down in a chart and display. Collect information about the musical instruments which work with air. Write their names and write how they are related to air in 2 sentences. To have fresh air, each one should plant a tree. Prepare a poster to denote the necessity of planting trees and display. Write about the making of a parachute. Make a model and draw a picture of it. Take a piece of newspaper. Draw a line in your classroom. Stand on the line and throw the paper. Measure the distance of the paper from the line. Write down in the table. Now make a paper ball of that loosely and throw it. Note down the distance. Now make a ball tightly, throw it and note down the distance. Analyze the outcomes. What will you do with the wrapper after eating biscuits? Take one such wrapper, see whether it is empty. Make it wrinkle-free by pressing it against a table. Blow air fully into the cover and tie its mouth tightly with a thread. Hold it in your hand and ask your friend to burst it by clapping. Did you hear any sound? How is this sound produced? Test your understanding of the chapter by taking the mock unit test. You have successfully completed the chapter Atmosphere, Wind.